From now we will introduce the homegrown terrorism in France. Do you know this incident? From left, November 2015 Paris attacks, Charlie Hebdo shooting, Jewish hostel hosted incident. Some incident was occurred recently. Criminals were of international terrorism organization, and they were Islamic people, so it is thought these are global terrorism. However, most of the criminals were born in France and second-generation immigrants. Therefore, this incident concludes many irrational factors of French society. We call this homegrown terrorism. Homegrown terrorism is terrorism targeting victims within a country by a perpetrator with the same citizenship as the victim. It is often committed by not groups, but individuals who are second-generation immigrants inspired by the Islamic extremism. From after World War II, immigrants have settled in some countries of Europe. France is one of the most high rate of immigrants. This is a graph of population distribution. However, most of them were discriminated and they can't find work easily though they are born in France and brought up there.
France is doing an immigration integration model based on universalism. France has its own ideas that is originally said to be French republicanism. It means that the people are guaranteed equality under the law, regardless of differences in organization, race, and religions. However, in reality, there is a gap between immigrations and white people at various levels, contrary to such ideas. Segregation is one of the factors that has caused such disparity. Segregation is a phenomenon in which white people are gathered in urban areas and non-white live in the suburbs. This segregation has a negative influence on the economic situation of the family, and in France, which is an academic society, it still gives a great disparity to the education record of the second generation. However, there are differences in academic background, but the enrollment rate of the second generation is nearly 100%. Moreover, all of them are French speakers. It seems that they are gradually approaching French republicanism, but the unemployment rate is more than twice. One-fifth of employment discrimination remains deep-rooted. Therefore, even if second-generation immigrants receive the same education as other white people, they feel unreasonable when they cannot work. Segregation causes the absence from communities, making the situation of migrations more serious. France tends to danger the existence of community based on republicanism. Various immigrants have been removed from the community and deepened in society. Brothers who were primarily criminals of Charlie Hebdo shooting in 2015, their mothers committed suicide in their teens and brought up in institutions. They had no communities to rely on and were isolated in society. They were not helped by not belonging to other communities.
As you can see, the root cause of homegrown terrorism explain the hard situation and pain of second-generation immigrants. As Momoka said before, second-generation immigrants are facing some difficulties like this. So, we believe that by eliminating these difficulties, we can avoid to increase more terrorists. So our solution is to cope with these problems. So now let's see the solutions. We are going to propose two solutions. First is to support for job seekers. It is important for companies to provide more support, such as seminars or workshops, for upskilling of second generation workers. Also, providing useful information is important too. Our research shows that recent employers tend to put higher priority on hiring work-ready graduate rather than training work-not-ready graduate. Since a lot of second-generation immigrants dropped out the high school, their ability of employability is tend to be low. They need help. Employability is the economical term which means the quality of being suitable for paid work. So that's why our solution aims to improve employability of second generation immigrants. Our second solution is to build a community of non-white French and white French. According to the study conducted by Hitotsubashi University, second-generation immigrants, especially non-white and ex-colonies, tend to live in one area, which leads to more divide between non-white French and white French, since less communication beyond the ethnicities can make trouble with immigrant assimilation or cultural integration, making community of non-white and white is important. So, by increasing the opportunities to communicate each other, second-generation immigrants will feel more comfortable by integrating the society.
This is reference list. In conclusion, we want to say that it is so ridiculous that by different blood and skin, there are many people who suffer the strict situation. They cannot take enough education and cannot get white work. Also, without community, people who are isolated must be a lot. To decrease such people, making policies to help them is important. As Shako said, support job system can help second generation immigrants. Also, if we can all make the community beyond the border of white and non-white people, terrorism will disappear. Each one have to have big and generous heart, not having prejudice. Thank you.